Since MobiCall is an alarm system that also logs the processed alarms, an alarm report can be generated at the end of each alarm using this data, or in time intervals, hourly, daily, weekly or monthly. As these are different types of alarm reports, both are set up separately. The standard report, which is available on every MobiCall system, can be set up at any time. Open the Alarm Center from the desktop and select the alarm you want to have a report of at the end. Start to edit this alarm by double-clicking or right-clicking followed by a click on Configure Alarm. Now the alarm report for this alarm can be set up in the Alarm Configurator. To do this, switch to the Alarm Report Settings tab. Here you define how the report for this alarm should run. The report is deactivated by default. To activate it, click on Edit in the Report Recipient setting. Here it is now defined where the report should be sent to. There are 4 different possibilities. 1. The report can be printed. This is only possible if a printer is installed on the Windows system during the MobiCall installation. If the printer is installed later, make sure that it is available for the Windows user, NewVoice MobiCall. By activating the setting Print the Alarm Report, it can be defined afterwards whether the report should be printed on the default printer of the NewVoice service users or on another, predefined printer. 2. Optionally, the alarm report can also be sent by fax. This requires licensed fax channels on MobiCall. To send the report as fax, the option Send Alarm Report as Fax must be activated, followed by the number to which the report should be sent. 3. If fax is not an option because the technology is outdated or not licensed, sending via email can also be activated. This requires an active Send Mail license. Activate the option Send Alarm Report as Email followed by a click on Edit. Here you define which recipients will receive the report. To add a new email address to the list, fill in the field in the lower left corner Add New Email Address to List with the email address that will receive the report and press the Add button. Now the address to which the report should be sent has to be selected in the right tab and moved to the left side with the green arrow. Now the email address is entered as the recipient, and by pressing the OK button the changes just made are saved. If the sending of emails is not active on this MobiCall system, the sending of the report via email cannot be activated. Therefore, open the NewVoice configuration wizard and activate the interface for sending emails. If you do not have a license or if you have questions about the email interface, please contact NewVoice. 4. The last possibility for the report after an alarm is to add the report as a TMS task. If this alarm is used to create a ticket in the NewVoice Web Task Management System, the report can be written into the ticket to see all data of the alarm centrally in one task. Activate the last option to attach the report to a MobiCall TMS task. Once the report recipients have been defined, the time for the report and the contents of the report can be set. To define when the report should be output, press the Edit button at the Start Report When item. Here you define when the report should be output. By default, the report is output 60 minutes after the alarm has ended. If the time is too short or too long, it can be defined by changing the number 60 in the first field Timeout from Report. If this alarm starts further alarms with personnel type ALR, the option If this alarm starts sub-alarms with type ALR, wait until all sub-alarms are completed or the report timeout is reached is recommended. If active, MobiCall waits for all sub-alarms with type ALR to complete to provide a collected full report. If the customer asks for so-called intermediate reports, only the third option should be activated here. With activation of intermediate reports you define when the first report should be sent and in which interval further reports are printed. MobiCall will then generate the reports in these defined intervals. Confirm the settings made by pressing OK. Now that you have defined when the report should be sent, you must now define what the report should look like. There are again several possibilities. The first option that is active by default is to create a standard text report with the basic data of the alarm. Here the information about which alarm number, alarm name, who has confirmed, rejected, replied etc. is displayed. In about 70% of the cases the standard text report is completely sufficient. If more information is required, a report can be created using an HTML template. For this purpose, the option Report with HTML template must be activated. If it is active, a German version or an English version can be activated between the templates available here. If the existing templates are not sufficient, a template can be edited or created from scratch at any time. Press the Settings button in the line. Select the HTML template file from the drop-down menu and press the Edit button. Now the template is opened in Notepad++. Here you can edit freely in HTML form. To create new database queries or change some, you have to define the placeholder for the HTML file in the menu before. This can be done by clicking on Configuration. All database queries for the HTML reports are now displayed here and can also be edited, deleted or copied here. New entries can also be added. It is important that the database query is done correctly. If you have any questions, please contact NewVoice support. If the report is sent to a statically defined group of participants after each alarm, a new alarm can be started for the report. For this purpose, the option Start New Alarm with Report is activated. By default, the alarm number 9601 is defined here as a report alarm. This alarm can be changed at any time via the drop-down menu. By pressing the Settings button, you can define to which participants the report should be sent. Either to a static group, which is defined here, to all persons from this alarm, to all persons who have not acknowledged the alarm, or the report can be sent via SMS to all persons who have not acknowledged the alarm and have a type GSM. Confirm the settings with OK. Under the alarm number, a template is selected by means of a drop-down menu. How the report is passed on to the second alarm. A German and an English template are available here. With Edit, the template can still be changed, which can lead to wrong information in the report. For support, please contact NewVoice. Some interfaces require a special feedback to see an alarm as successful or to return to sleep mode. Therefore, the option Start Module at end of alarm was implemented, for example to start the module, NewVoice Callback at the end of an alarm to give a special telephone feedback. If this special function is needed, it is indicated in the documentation. However, it is not used here for the report. In order for the alarm to be considered successful, MobiCall needs the completion by contacting all participants or by the value defined here. By default, the setting is set to 0. If a certain number of answers, confirmations is sufficient, this number can be defined here. By setting for example 2 persons, the alarm is considered to be successful if 2 participants have been reached and have confirmed, if necessary. If the alarm was triggered by phone, you can also set MobiCall to initiate a callback and play the alarm result on the phone. This is activated by the box Start Callback to play the alarm result on the phone. Now you can define who is called by MobiCall. You can enter a static number or dynamically call the phone number that has triggered the alarm. With the last setting, it can be defined that this alarm does not appear in the alarm evaluation. It can be defined whether all alarms with this number should be hidden or only alarms that were cancelled. After the report has been set up successfully, it should be tested. NewVoice recommends changing the group into a test group and triggering the alarm manually, by right-clicking on the alarm and then Trigger Alarm. After the alarm is finished, the report should be sent to the recipients by fax, email, printer, TMS, second alarm or call. If the report is not sent as set, contact NewVoice for further assistance. As on a MobiCall system, often several alarm numbers are combined to one alarm area. It can be tedious to set the report for each alarm number. It is possible to automatically generate a report of one or more alarm areas every hour, every day, every week or every month. The basic requirement for this is a MobiCall reporting license. If the license is available, the commissioning can be started. Open the NewVoice Configurations wizard from the desktop. On the left side, switch to the main alarm settings and activate the option Enable Automatic Alarm Reports from HTML Templates. Save this setting by clicking on Apply and switch to the Automatic Report settings on the left side. Here you define how the report should be output. The first item report file output path defines where the report file is stored. With the option default alarm for reports, the default alarm is specified, which is triggered to generate the report. If no reports have been generated on this MobiCall system yet, there should be an entry here that is pre-configured by default. This entry can now be edited or orientated to it. To create a new automated report, press the Create button right next to New Report. First, define a name for the report. This can be freely selected but should be assigned logically. To define a report, an HTML report template should be created. This can be created by clicking on Create next to the drop-down menu HTML report template file. Assign a name to the HTML report template file, it will automatically add HTML. If no report template file exists yet, it must be created first. The next points define whether an empty HTML report template should be created, whether a report template should be used as a copy, or whether an existing example that is already available on the system should be copied and used. For testing, it is recommended to copy the NVMonitor system alarm report _da and start with it. Of course, you can also start directly with an empty template and customize the report the way the customer would like it. Basic knowledge of HTML is required here. With the basic SQL where clause, a special clause can be passed to the report generator to specify the time and alarm ranges. For further support, please contact NewVoice. If an HTML report output file is to be created dynamically, this can be specified in the next window. Dynamic placeholders are also possible here, such as DD for day, German day, for month, and Y for year. Once you have defined the report, you must also set the interval at which the report is to be generated. Here you can choose between generate report hourly, daily, weekly, or monthly, followed by the time, except hourly. Furthermore, a graphic can be created for each report using an HTML template from the files and attached to the HTML output file by activating the option Create Graphics for each HTML table with the data from the tables. This is defined by clicking on Configuration. Since this is a special function, you should contact NewVoice first. Now you define how the report is output. The following options are available. The report can be sent to a group. This defines to which recipients the report is sent, but the only possible types here are email and fax. A printer can also be defined. With the next item you can specify whether the report is to be printed out on the standard printer or on a specified printer. With the next setting you define that the report is saved as PDF. Activate the option Report as PDF in path to give MobiCall the path where the PDF is saved. Last but not least, the report can be created as TMS task in the TMS area alarm reporting and attached to the HTML report. Save the made settings by pressing OK. Now you can test the report you just created. To do so, select it and press the button Test. If the report reaches the recipients as defined, everything has been configured correctly. If something does not work as desired, please contact the NewVoice support. Furthermore, reports can be edited or deleted here. If you need additional written documentation, you can click on Documentation in the window and MobiCall will open the required documentation for alarm reporting. Save your settings by clicking on Apply and close the configuration wizard by clicking on OK. Your reports will now be generated at the defined interval.